You're listening to the After Dark podcast with NTParanormal. Nothing normal about it.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's like 9 o'clock at night. We're about 2 hours late because Allie forgot to set her alarm.
No, she said it. She just didn't wake up.
She just didn't care about you, the listeners. So, we're running a little bit behind, but, we're here. We're here to talk about, really important stuff and things.
Your voice sounds weird through my headphones.
Did you mess with the volume on your headphones?
No.
In your genius endeavors to try to micromanage our show?
No.
Because I feel like you're. Is that better? How's that? Is that better?
No.
The light is making me look like I'm trying to tell a spooky story.
We are telling spooky stories. Yeah.
I don't think I like it.
I'm setting the mood. It's a new mood we're setting with NTParanormal. It's called We Know What We're Doing. And I know that's a new thing.
And it's a lie.
That's a total lie. We have no clue.
So, we're here. We're going to be talking about the dangers of paranormal investigation, because we always get asked if it's dangerous a lot or people. I wrote an article about it. Whatever. Go read it. It's probably better than what this podcast is going to be. But you should definitely share, like, and subscribe anyway, because, we're trying to get more... We're trying to get more visibility. We're trying to network a little bit more. That'll be the last time I say share, like, and subscribe in this podcast. I definitely won't ask you to share, like, and subscribe to this podcast at all. That's not a thing we'll do. How's everybody been? Good? Good?
I'm exhausted.
I'm good.
I'm so tired. I'm so sorry.
That's ironically one of the things on our list. Fatigue causes a lot of problems in paranormal investigation. No, we spent the day in Gainesville.
The name of the town is
Gainesville. Yeah. We're currently working on a episode right now. We have it in editing, and we're putting it together, and we had to go shoot some more footage today and stuff like that. So,
and you set up this shot. He spends like 30 minutes.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was the best.
Right as he gets it set up, he's about to get serious. The neighbor pops on the mower,
and then we go dragging our ass all around town. I'm getting all this B-roll footage, and there's this thing with a murder that happened there, and we're like retracing the steps and all that. And we finally get back to the house because I really need this shot of like the front of the house and like us setting up the video or whatever, because we didn't do that when we went and investigated before. And I go to do it again, and this plane starts flying overhead like just something like today was a complete exploded. Today was a complete like disaster. But and you almost crapped yourself.
Gee, thanks for that. Yeah. I got sick to my stomach.
Yeah,
or sick to your ass.
It was bad.
So the dangers of ghost hunting. Don't crap yourself.
Well, there was that time you had to hurriedly leave. God, what was that? It was George's Creek.
Oh, that's right. And we had taken Jeremy with us.
And that was the time the cops showed up.
And you were wearing a machete. Yeah. We'll set that up. That was great. So we were there all night because Jeremy doesn't believe in anything. He's just whatever. So we take Jeremy out there, and we're doing like EVPs and saying, I can't remember why you're wearing a machete.
Because we had been going through the woods a bunch, and we kept running into those stabby vines. And I was like, I'll just take them out with the machete, the stabby vines.
Yeah, that was in that time frame where you and I both were carrying machetes in our vehicles for
hiking and stuff.
Yeah. And I think when we showed up, that was back when we had the big police spotlight things or whatever. And there were the idiots in the back of the
fencing goods.
The cemetery, and they were fencing goods. Hey, it turns out that actually relates to our thing today.
Haiti says she misses us.
Oh,
we miss you.
Come visit.
We miss Haiti too. She's probably the only one of us that knows what they're doing most of the time. Not really, no.
More so than I do.
I don't know anything. Yeah, but we like chased those people off or whatever, and then...
No, they weren't there that night. He was just telling us that they came out there to do a bunch of illegal shit. And he was like, y'all will probably scare them off with your spotlights. And that's when he was like, hey, you know, if you want to go to a really creepy place, there's this place where we take the rookies, and there's this old church, and we hide behind the pews, and we jump out and scare them. Jeez. That's awesome. And we did a ghost hunt at the other place.
Did you read the article I wrote? No, you didn't. Why would you? Why?
Ooh, I did.
I saw.
That's amazing. I'm actually surprised anybody read it.
You whine when I don't read your articles, so I started
Oh my God.
reading your
I'm happy I
articles.
wrote that article because we found an old friend.
And I found like 6 typos.
I fixed them.
It's armadillos, not possums.
I fixed it. It doesn't say possums. It never said possums. You're thinking of the other universe.
I screenshotted it.
Guess who commented on my article? Ben.
Shut up.
Ben.
Okay, so we
Ben,
took down
Ben.
those episodes, but there was a guy
Yeah.
we came across when we were first. Well, I was in a group when we were first ghost hunting, and he made a comment, and I had replied back to them.
He was a
And
jerk.
He got
We'll
really mad.
We'll just
at
leave
me.
it at that.
Yeah, well, whatever. I said I ghost hunted, but I didn't believe in ghosts, and he freaked the fuck out and like blasted me for like an entire day. So I got creepy, and I like went to his town's rumor site, and I found a bunch of people that were in his former group. Whatever. We did like 2 podcasts about him because he was telling people their houses were haunted and like extorting money out of them.
Yeah.
To get rid of the hauntings, but we haven't talked about this guy or had any run-ins with him in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh
long
wow,
time.
has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Like, I don't even want to dedicate any time to it. I just think it's funny because
He remembered us.
there was a group, like, and I had posted my article in it or whatever, you know, networking or whatever. And he came back and he's like, your opinion's not valid. You guys are...
You pretended to get possessed by an Italian ghost.
I didn't know who it was at
And,
first because I just saw somebody saying...
Extorted money out of gullible people.
you,
Weren't you in jail, Ben? Last I heard you were in jail.
I don't know. I just saw this
It was
post and
Canadian
it said,
jail.
you guys are disgraced paranormal investigators. Your opinion doesn't count. And I'm like, who is this guy? And then the tumblers clicked and I'm like, I would have never known you exist if you would have just kept your mouth shut. Oh my God. And now he's banned from like every group that we're like mutually a part of.
If he hadn't have said anything, no one would have noticed. It's hysterical. I find it amusing.
So, ow, my own mic is hurting my ears. Jeez.
I told you it sounded weird.
I don't know. Maybe the bass is up. Or maybe I'm just bassier.
No.
Oh my God, have you seen the video I posted at dawn? I love it.
My dad
Dude,
is just
I
like...
cannot stop laughing.
He starts with his arm around the camera like it's his prom date.
He's just, hi, I'm Don Cook, and this is Betsy here. No. Maybe, do ghosts come out of this well? I'm going to find out. Dude, it's just so it's hilarious. And he's like flashing this light around and he keeps scaring the crap out of himself. I can't stop laughing. This is the funniest thing ever. In the way I edit it together with like all these like quick shots and stuff. It's just funny. I'm sorry. Am I boring you? Are you bored? Are you bored with this podcast?
Are you talking? Because, I mean, I get increasingly bored.
No, I want
It has
dead
nothing
air.
to do with boredom. We're just exhausted, man.
So anyway, the article I wrote, it was kind of based on people were asking like the dangers of ghost hunting, and what they were mostly talking about was attachments and possessions, and so like everybody's always asking about
Better known as things that aren't real.
maybe or maybe not. Prove it wrong.
Prove it right.
Prove it wrong.
Fight.
That's. We know that's not how science works. The scientific method, as we found out this week, is clearly fuck around and find out. That's my new favorite meme right now.
I know. Yeah. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's like, does this do this? Okay, let's find out. And then you find out that no, sometimes it goes horrifically wrong.
But yeah, demonic possession, attachments, those are... But when people say dangers of ghost hunting, I'm thinking mountain lions,
People. Well, I want to wind it
falling
back.
through a floor.
Like when we first went ghost hunting, I thought the same thing. I thought the most dangerous thing would be, you know, bringing something back with us. Like I was constantly terrified of that. Like I had our safety seal printed up on our shirts, you know, and I was gonna get all into that. I think me and Allie used to pray before and after every investigation, you know, and not that it's stupid. Like I'm not getting on anybody.
Oh, if that's your
it's
thing,
just,
do your thing.
Yeah, that's definitely something you need to do. I mean, I guess there is a spiritual danger there if that's, you know, we do science stuff, and so. But I remember that was initially the thought, and it's not that went away. Like I'm still afraid of that stuff. I feel silly at night, like. When we go do like a really scary investigation, I'm like trying to go to bed and I got the covers pulled up to my face, you know, and I'm like, what's that shadow in the corner of the room? I don't like it. You know, obviously it's still a fear that's in the back.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your lizard brain, but...
Or in my bathroom. It's definitely in there.
I don't know. I haven't slept alone in 15 years. There's always a child in my room.
No, it's always there. That fear's still there. But bigger fears took the place of that after I met you idiots. Especially that idiot right there. I'm pointing at Eli. Who loves to do illegal crap. It's like your favorite thing in the world to do.
It's only illegal, like, if you get caught.
Yeah. We don't, as a group, we don't illegal so much anymore. But I feel like given the chance, like if you were left to your own devices, you would go do the illegal stuff again. I'm talking about breaking and entering. I'm talking about...
It's not breaking if I don't break anything.
Yeah, the door is like usually pretty wide open.
If the window's already broken and I crawl through it, that seems like their problem.
So let me... I printed off a list we can talk about. We can go in whatever order I wrote this in. I just categorized it.
I do have to say that an honorable mention should be lack of bathrooms.
This is extremely dangerous.
It is extremely.
Well, that's what happened to me. That's what we were saying. That's what happened to me at George's Creek. So we were off doing our thing, and
we're 30 minutes from a bathroom.
Yeah, the nearest one was Glen Rose. Like we were like halfway between like Glen Rose proper and Cleburne, and you know, they were trying to talk to spirits and something else was trying to talk to me, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was thinking about ditching behind a one of the taller headstones, but like I felt like that would bring some kind of attachment if I just crapped on old man McCracken's grave. It's like, you don't even know me. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? So anyway, I was like, are you guys good? And then before they could even say yes, I just like hightailed it to the gas station. And I'd like just, it's one of those like photo finish moments. I just like, I'm like, oh my God. Oh, thank God. Everything's just, and then my phone's going off and I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And they're like, I get a text from you. The police are here. I'm like, you're screwing with me. No, the police showed up. They actually showed up. What's going on? And you're just 3-dotting me. Cause I guess you guys were conversating, you know, and I'm just 3-dotting. I'm like, oh my God. This is horrible. I've got the car. They're just there doing stuff. I get back. The cops aren't there anymore. And they're like, oh, yeah, it was really nice. Thank God he didn't realize I was wearing a freaking machete. So I missed.
I had like, ditched it on a bench when I saw him pull up.
I missed the best part of that investigation.
Not because I thought they would have cared. It just seemed stupid.
That's happened to me a couple of times. Like it happened to be at the hospital in Yokel.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I had to like jack the car and like leave.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because all they had in the
was a bucket. They literally had a bucket.
It was a bucket. They're like, it's a bucket. It's in a storage room. We bleached the room just in case. And we're like,
and I was like, yeah, this you don't want me to do this in the bucket, like you know.
I was just like, excuse me, bucket? You say bucket?
Better than nothing in a pinch, I guess.
Pinch.
I hate you.
So I didn't rank this stuff from most dangerous to least dangerous or anything like that. I just kind of grouped it, and I started with hazardous conditions and health conditions is kind of what I went with. And the first thing I brought up is it's pretty obvious. If the building is unfamiliar and a state of disarray, there's a pretty good possibility that someone in the group could get hurt. And if you happen to be trespassing or breaking the law, you're also anxious. So this can increase it. I can't remember a time that we've actually got physically hurt on an investigation. I'm sure somebody's like tripped or cut themselves or something like that, just fumbling around in the dark. But nothing really comes to mind.
No, I think I mean,
especially for us, we've done
we've done pretty well.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? No, I can't think of one. There was the time I got up to run and I ripped the leads out of your back.
Oh, God.
And electrocuted you halfway to death.
Oh, yeah.
Or back to life. But that wasn't really... I guess it was kind of from the environment because it was like wrapped around the bench that you were on. But
it was also probably don't go ghost hunting while there's leads sticking out of your spinal cord.
Well, I mean, if we didn't go investigating just because you had some kind of medical procedure or so, like, we would probably never go. That's just kind of an occupational hazard with our group, I think. But
being electrocuted blows.
I don't know. Particularly like Warehouse 9 is pretty there's like holes in the floor. There's a place in Mineral Wells a bunch of our colleagues have gone to. We've never done it, but there's a big hole like on the 3rd floor. And everybody I talk to is like, "Yeah, I almost fell in that hole," or "I was looking over the edge and I felt like I was going to get pushed or something." But my advice to avoid that is you definitely have to show up early and kind of check the place out. That's like something we started doing later. Like back when we were early on, we would just show up in the middle of the night with our flashlight. I mean, that's what we did at Kyle.
Yeah.
And that's probably where a lot of the strangeness came from, because just of a misrepresentation of what we thought was there. I don't know. I'm pretty confident we knew it was there, but like we did do it in the wrong
I'd been
order.
there during the day before.
I hadn't. I don't know. It was different for me, but it's definitely, you definitely should like walk an area in the light at least
Before you, yeah.
Well, I mean, in most of the places that investigators are going to check out are like abandoned, like decrepit buildings, like stuff's falling apart. Like you don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoakum is a good example of that.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine just like if we were trespassing, like had just wandered in there at night and gone up to that 3rd floor, not knowing what was in there?
Oh, yeah.
That would have been death on a stick.
Come home with the plague.
Especially with that, elevator shaft.
What
they just had the open elevator.
Yeah, it was just an open elevator shaft.
Well, shit, Warehouse 9's like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're going to Nazareth Hospital here in a few months. I'm sure it's going to have some wicked elevator shaft issues or something. Shaft. No. Oh no, I know it. You're sick. You're a sick person.
Everyone was thinking it.
No, but really, you're kind of a crappy investigator. If you don't check the place out like during the day, because like how the hell are you going to know what's going on anyway? Like if you hear the noise off in the background, not only do you not know there's a freaking hazard back there that you're going to fall into and you go running back there to find the ghost.
I do understand though sometimes, especially if you're paying for a place, if you might not have the chance to go during the day.
That is true, but you should at least, if you're paying for a place, somebody should at least walk you around and tell you what's going on.
Walk around with enough light to see what's going on, even if it's dark out.
Like we were talking about with Georges Creek, if the location's remote, any kind of help could be really far away. So that goes hand in hand with what we were talking about. So if you fall and you get hurt or something like that, it could be hours before somebody comes and gets you. Or if you're by yourself, I didn't even put that on this list, but like if you're a solitary ghost hunter, like you go do stuff on your own and you get hurt, hopefully somebody like knows where you're at.
Yeah, you should always. I mean, you should always let people
even if
know.
it's hiking or something, you should tell someone where you are, or where you're going, what time
We're
you're supposed to
really
be back,
bad about that.
what path you're going to take.
Yeah. I got tetanus from cuts and scrapes on here. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can just happen in like an old decrepit. Like, aside from just like breaking your arm, like you could get tetanus. There could be animals in there you don't know about that could have diseases.
We've come across that at quite a few times with animals.
I don't think there's anywhere we've gone where I haven't run into some kind of an animal that scared the shit out of me. We ran into armadillos before out at Alton Bridge.
And turkey vultures.
Turkey vultures are scary.
what was it? That family of vultures over at Warehouse 9?
Yeah, the horse-sized
Oh my
raccoon.
God, that almost killed me. That almost killed me during the walkthrough during the day.
You had called me and were like playing the video when that bird just flew at you. That was epic.
Oh my God! And then later on, we knew the bird
You
was
ran
down
so
there,
fast.
and then we tried to like go down there, and it's just. Blah! And then there was one time you went around the corner, and I think it was fighting the raccoon.
Nice.
Like
No, I walked around the corner and I guess the raccoon had gotten too close to its eggs, but the vulture was fucking up that raccoon. The vulture won.
Yeah, I believe it.
Julie says tripping over headstones. That's a good one. How many freaking
tripped
times?
over quite
Oh, yeah, I've tripped over quite a few.
I haven't tripped and
yeah.
fallen on my face.
No, but I've
I've fallen
tripped and
on
caught
my
myself.
Yeah, I've fallen on my knees, fallen on my back.
We tripped over that kid's headstone at Antioch when the bunny screamed for dear life, and my soul left my body momentarily. They were like, "Oh, it's a kid's headstone. Oh no, that's horrible." Oh, this is a good one. Especially a lot. Maybe I should have brought up the trespassing thing first, but meth labs is a big deal because all the chemical,
Chemicals.
all the chemical decomposition and problems that arise from a building becoming a meth lab.
Yeah, it leaches into the walls. It's
Yeah,
bad for
like
you.
it's so volatile. Like you can't clean. Like they say, the whole domicile has to be completely torn down and something else built there. Like you can never go. Like it's illegal to even be on the premises. Like even if you're the owner, you're not even supposed to go in. It's like permanently condemned. But I think I think those chemicals like weaken the structure. I think it causes like some kind of aerosol thing. Like if you're in there, I think it can make you really, really sick, especially like if you touch.
Oh, it's pool chemicals and match heads. It's not good for you.
I'm sure it's just like
What? Meth is bad for you?
it's just a cup of cancer. It should be okay. You know, you shouldn't touch anything in there.
B12 engine cleaner.
But if you're somewhere like you're not supposed to be, like you didn't ask the people that own the place beforehand, you might not know that it was a meth lab, and you might you
What
might.
was that terrible house me and you and your friends from work went into that one time?
Oh, yeah.
That place
That
had obviously been a meth lab.
I need
Isn't that-
details. What are you
is-
talking about?
Isn't that where the haunted hot sauce came from?
No.
No.
The haunted hot sauce.
Oh, no, that was where
it
we
was
went-
Glenrose.
Oh, that was where we went in and like it looked like ketchup all over the walls.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was before we
What?
met you.
Yeah, this was before like
Was it a house made of ketchup? It sounds delicious.
No, it was just a creepy old house.
It was an abandoned house that we came across and walked into, and yeah, we were like kind of snooping around, half-ass ghost hunting, and it was just, I guess these people just packed up and left in the middle of the night because like there was still stuff everywhere.
Oh, it was that haunted.
We don't know. It wasn't
We
ours.
don't know. Like
It
I
was
mean,
just a house with no people in it.
yeah, and it was just like they just left everything behind, and like there was one room where it looked like there was just ketchup all over the walls, just everywhere.
Anyway, it was just
It
Did
was
you
just
taste
creepy.
it?
No,
Could have been blood.
You're gross.
Maybe the walls were bleeding.
ketchup.
Yes. Yes, I bleed ketchup. I mean, it looks like ketchup when I bleed.
You would.
Jeez.
She just called you fat.
I know. Oh my God. I feel myself getting larger after that sick burn. I'm just I'm lethargic. It's horrible. No, but like all that is summed up to, hey, unfamiliarity with a location. Like you should be familiar with it. You should have permission there, because not having permission causes a lot of physical problems. In addition to the legal problems that it can cause. Oh, actually, as a matter of fact, let me pull up that link I sent you. Unfamiliarity with a location can cause you to find things that you don't intend to find.
Oh, I definitely intend to find.
You guys keep talking while I pull this up, while I pull up this clip.
I don't know what I'm supposed to talk
Yeah,
about.
I was just
I feel like we were done.
Jeez. Wow. Well, I mean, what's the funny thing is the biggest thing I'm afraid of is finding people.
People,
there.
yeah.
yeah. That's
People are
Living people.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Mostly what I'm worried about.
living people are the worst.
Has that actually happened to us yet? I feel like it has.
No.
Well, I mean, not anything dangerous, but
like far off in the distance. I mean,
we've run into people at the back of George's Creek. Not run into them, but they've been there and then they split. That happened. That could have been
Alton
dangerous.
Bridge when we came across those boys.
Oh, well, I meant like we've never come across people where we didn't expect to find people.
That's fair.
You know, maybe that should be a tale we should tell about how they just led one of our group members off into the woods, and you did the exact opposite of what.
Yeah, someone did not pay attention during stranger danger. Eli.
I lived. I'm not worried about it.
Wait,
They were obviously very high. I wasn't scared of them. Oh, Julie says, "Oh, I don't know. Finding a dead body might unsettle you. That would make my absolute day. That would be the best thing. I mean, not for them. I would feel bad, but I would be like, oh yeah, now I'm part of a murder investigation. Yes,
that would be pretty interesting.
After this,
what is that?
What the fuck?
Oh my god, this is insane. This is some kind of weird.
This is probably what Cats should have been.
What are you watching?
Did you know that there's a butthole cut of Cats?
What?
I gotta find it.
What?
There's
a butthole cut of Cats.
like where they put buttholes on the cats.
I have to unmute this video so everybody can hear. So yeah, this was a news report.
Speaking of dead bodies.
Ooh, dead bodies.
Vicksburg resident Sharon Wilson was reported missing on Sunday. Shortly after that, her body was found by ghost hunters at the old Kuhn Memorial State Hospital. What you see here is the path that leads to the place where Sharon's body was found. David Childers with the Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute was on the scene this morning and tells us more.
We're here in Vicksburg, Mississippi at Kuhn State Hospital where a local resident's body was discovered. Detectives have been here on the crime scene ever since yesterday and today all day. From what I understand, a group of ghost hunters ended up discovering her body in this wooded area back here.
That guy looked exactly like what I thought a Mississippi ghost hunter would look like too. That was
Have y'all
awesome.
been to the Screaming Bridge in Arlington? Interesting story.
Like, does the bridge scream?
No.
Or do you scream?
Funny thing is we've just recently gone there. Me and Eli did. That's like turns out that's like a 3
mile hike.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun, and we did that at the
It was
peak
98
hours of
degrees
the day.
and 100% humidity. I wanted to die.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible.
We've not ghost hunted it though.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard to ghost hunt.
Hell of a way to lug some equipment.
Yeah, and the park closes at like 10 anyway.
So why is it called the Screaming Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, funny thing about quick little Arlington history lesson here. So there is a bridge, or used to be a bridge in Arlington, where a carload of kids went off the bridge and died. That was the specific bridge that went over some train tracks. It was the Denton something road, Denton Crowley Road, Denton Crowley Bridge. That's what it was. And they ended up going off of it. They died. People said the bridge was haunted for a long time. That bridge is no longer there. If you go to River Legacy Park in Arlington, there is a completely different abandoned bridge that if you go all the way through, it goes over the river. I can't remember what river is that.
That not the Trinity?
Yeah, you might be right. It might be the Trinity. Goes over the river, whatever, but it dead ends or whatever. And everybody calls that the Screaming Bridge and puts that story
It's
with it.
even written there in spray paint.
Yeah, it is the wrong ass bridge. It is not that bridge. It is a cool bridge. It's really awesome. It's probably 100 feet up from the water.
It was very tall.
Thanks for your commentary here, Sean Madden. It was really tall. It was over here, and we drew a squiggly line, and you jump, and you go straight down, and then you die. Wasn't more Jimmy Stewart than John Madden, but somebody did die on that bridge, though.
Oh.
But it's
Christy says she's been to the Screaming Bridge in the one in River Legacy Park.
okay. The one in River Legacy Park that they call the Screaming Bridge is not actually the Screaming Bridge, but they call it the Screaming Bridge, so it's the Screaming Bridge. The one that's the real Screaming Bridge, like I tracked down, and all it is like a a dip. It wasn't like a bridge like you would think. It was basically just like a almost like a footbridge, but it was like a one lane for cars to go over, and it was just to get over that ditch that goes by the railroad tracks. Like, it wasn't like deep. So when the car went off, it just went off into the side, and the impact was so like severe that it killed most of the people in the car. And that's the one they called the Screaming Bridge. Because if you went there at night,
You can hear them scream.
you could hear them scream. Yeah, that's exactly why they.
If it was only like a 5-foot drop and they died on impact, why were they screaming?
Why?
I feel like there would have been very little screaming.
I don't know. I'm not the one that makes up the ghost
I feel
story
like
part
it
of
would have
it.
been
I mean, I know
shock than dead.
I know they actually died. I found the article. You know, it's a real story, but you know, I don't think the people that think up these bridge stories really put a whole lot of thought
Was
into
there a
it.
goat man? There's always a goat
I'm
man.
surprised there's not a goat man.
You know what?
Now
We should
there's
tell
a goat
people.
man.
Now there's a goat man. We should tell people.
We
There's
should
a goat
just
man.
tell people we saw a goat, half man out
the
there.
Screaming Bridge, yes.
But it's the other way around. The top part was a man, and the bottom part was a goat.
So it came straight out of Narnia.
Mr. Tumnus.
It's a Mr. Tumnus.
The fawn.
He was a fawn, not a goat.
Same thing.
Wow.
You killed her.
So let's go on to
No,
exhaustion.
I just wish we could do that. We could just tell people doing this.
Talking gibberish. Those weren't words.
Skibbity doo bop bop dibbity beep 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 boop boop. What?
You just want to tell people Mr. Tumnus.
That's not words.
You're getting halfway through, though. You're getting better. You're almost there.
Maybe start halfway through the sentence. Look, we can get the last half of it.
Okay, so exhaustion.
I feel like our new goal as a paranormal team would be to find Narnia.
Oh my God! Can we just live there instead of here?
We'll have to ask Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Tumnus?
Mr. Tumnus.
Thomas.
Thomas is a first name.
What? Are you really jumping my crap because I don't know the name of a fictional?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever. I'm done. No, we're just doing dead air for the rest of the show.
Emilio says derailed.
Gee, you're derailed. Yeah, we're derailed. Dangerous things. Running.
Exhaustion was the...
Running on fumes.
Yeah. So, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. But for whatever reason, up to the group, most ghost hunters do their thing at night. Most of the time it's because of like day jobs, things like that. But it's kind of a recipe for disaster if you think about it. Because the funny thing is like I always see these like posts or in the videos or whatever. They're like, that place totally drained me. But they never allude to the fact that it's like, well, didn't you work a day job all day, then go to this place,
drive to a location, set up, ghost hunt for 8 hours? Yeah, you're tired, dude.
Yeah, and they're just like exhausted at the end of it. And they're like, the spirits totally drained me, and I'm like, no, man, you haven't had sleep in like 24 hours. But I mean, lack of sleep is going to cause all kinds of issues, bad decision making, bad coordination. You could die on the way home, falling asleep at the wheel. I think I've almost done that a couple of times. So exhaustion is real bad. My advice on that is, if you can, take a nap beforehand, or definitely take a break in the middle of your investigation, or schedule it.
Energy drinks. That's my
Yes, methamphetamines. And if you're investigating a meth house or a crack house, then
Just like the
You should be
wall.
fine. Just like the wall.
yeah, just let the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
I'm pretty sure they taste like cough medicine and ass.
Cough. That's pseudo ass.
Sudafed.
Assafed. I don't know. I was trying to think of a combo there.
You failed.
You really did.
No, we have run into people before, though, is what I was trying to get back to. what I was trying to think.
But never people we haven't expected to be there. We've never like been in the 3-story abandoned hospital and come across the crackhead in the corner. That's not a thing that's ever happened to us.
I notice a lot of investigators like start in graveyards and stuff like that. And basically, if you're not asking permission to be in there, you're sneaking in at night. You can
In Texas, it is illegal to be in any cemetery
After sunset.
Yeah. I mean, you can justify it all you want or reason it away. I mean, we did. But yeah, you're trespassing. But the interesting thing, at least in Texas, cemeteries are at night are a really good place to accidentally run into criminal activity.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drug deals apparently go down there. This is all from we haven't actually run into that, but we have been told that that's what happens a lot. That there's fencing operations that go on, there's drug deals that go down, and cemeteries are just generally a unsafe place to be at night. And here in Texas, people's usually my number one worry. Well, actually, people is my number 2 worry. My number 1 worry is cougars.
Yeah.
Not really my number 1 worry because we're pretty much always in a group.
Yeah, as long as we don't separate.
If you're out hiking alone, I would worry about that more. But
I'm just worried about old women coming out there to pick me up. That's
ha ha ha.
I don't think we have cougars out here. We have mountain lions and
They're the same.
bobcat. Man, in stereo.
The same thing. That was the worry at Kyle.
I've never been corrected so quickly.
Like a couple weeks before one of the times we went out to Kyle, there was a mountain lion attack right up the road from it where a horse was killed and another horse was mauled.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if it'll fuck up a horse, it will definitely fuck me up.
Yeah. A mountain lion will fuck your shit up. Bobcats I'm not so worried about because they're
little.
Yeah, they're not as big. I mean, they're just, about twice the size of a house cat.
Roided out house cats.
They'll still fuck you up, man.
No, they cuddle.
But they're very unlikely.
I don't think that's how that works.
But they don't eat people. You're probably not going to get attacked by a bobcat.
No, but it'll fucking rip your leg up.
No,
It'll
they
hurt.
love. We cuddle.
Just because an animal looks adorable doesn't mean it won't hurt you.
No, we
I have a pet
cuddle.
bobcat.
No, we cuddle.
There are thousands of panda bear deaths a year from people trying to pet panda bears. At the zoo. Yeah, that's a thing.
We cuddle. No, there's a bobcat that lives behind my house.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I want it.
Christy says she used to geocache in cemeteries at night, but never went alone. Never saw anything crazy, but was approached by the cops a few times. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, if the cops approached her and didn't do anything, they were feeling incredibly plucky and it didn't feel like doing paperwork is what it is.
Really, I'm more concerned about with, especially if you don't have permission, is people defending their property.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're an open carry state, and even for that, castle law here in Texas applies to all of your personal property, including your car. So yeah, the cops are usually the last thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about the property owner just coming out and being like, hey, because they don't have to ask questions. They can just, I was defending my property from, these people that came on my lot with cameras and doodads. I thought they were
Satanists.
I thought they were coming to probe me.
That just seems to be the go-to for people around here. It's like they were Satanists.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing groups being like, you got to be careful when you go out there. You might run into the Satanists. They're out there doing the rituals.
Oh my God.
Dude, they're not going to fuck with you. Those are probably the coolest people to hang with. I mean, not the ones that are out there those aren't Satanists, by the way. Those are
idiots.
Those are idiots.
Those are devil worshippers. That's a different thing. That's not like a LaVeyan Satanist. LaVeyan Satanists aren't hanging around in graveyards at night practicing their magics. They're
trolling you on the internet.
They're trolling you on the internet. They're
they have a nice Chardonnay sitting next to them while they
they're
talk
holding
shit
their
about
meetings
you.
online during a WoW raid like that. They're like, yeah, and so I find this passage particularly interesting. Fucking hit him! That's how that's going out. The idiots that are out in the woods, those are just teenagers that you know, found their dad's Led Zeppelin album and pulled some stuff off the back of it.
Yeah.
And like maybe like torturing animals. But those are kids. You can beat the shit out of them. Who cares? But yeah, they're not the ones that are going to mess with you. It's going to be, you know, somebody protecting
Get off my property.
Their property, or their stash of crack that they have back in the woods or something. Satanists are the least of our problems. Yes, that is true. But yeah, we've run into people and it's never been a problem. And the other interesting thing is you know, even though it is kind of it could potentially be dangerous. The funny thing is usually the other people we run into are doing the same thing we are. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like they're like, "Oh God, are you the cops?" No, we're
just two herds of ghost hunters, right?
Yeah, that's how we ran into what's her face at Alton Bridge.
Good old Becky.
Oh, Becky.
Oh, Amina says, I am just getting on, but I saw the subject, dangerous life of ghost hunting. Do you think ghost hunting is a risk to your health as well? I know Eli said he's been dreaming from some places. Yeah, we were just talking about that. How you like do stuff all day and then go and ghost hunt all night and you get tired.
I think fatigue is the number one thing. And you know what? I don't think there's a ghost hunter we've met that doesn't either have or end up with some kind of sleep disorder, like a work shift sort of disorder, because it really is kind of like a double life sort of thing. Well, I mean, I guess unless you do it for a living, like if you work on a TV show, who cares? You know, you can schedule your whole life around it. But for the rest of us who, you know, work in HR or data or, you know, whatever it is you do.
I have kids.
That's pretty draining.
No, but yeah, it is like, especially like when we do like a Friday one and I've been at work all day. Saturday can be kind of a pain in the ass too. You know, like it's easier to schedule around and all that, but you have Sunday to kind of deal with. It's just, it can be kind of a pain, and so it makes it hard. What is up?
Christy says a group of ghost hunters is called a murder. Absolutely.
Nice.
I would say they're called a haunt. No?
No, you're wrong.
God, man, y'all are just like fucking dunking on me tonight.
Don't make it so easy.
Just like, no, you suck. It's whatever.
How is this different than any other time we're hanging out? Like,
I don't know.
Like, how is this? I mean, that's kind of what we do. Why don't you add that to your list of dangerous activities?
So legal stuff is a big deal, and I think everybody in the back of their head is like, trespassing, whatever. You know, like Christy said, you know, she's been confronted by the cops a couple of times, and just, hey, get out of here, or go about your business.
But if they want to fuck up your day, they will.
It turns out
they absolutely will.
I didn't realize like what a big deal it was, actually, because I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, trespassing, it's a misdemeanor or whatever. It can be. It turns out it can also be a major felony. There's two different types of trespassing. After I did a little more research on it, there's your standard run-of-the-mill trespassing. And that's basically defined as you're on property that's not yours, but you didn't know you were supposed to be there. You know, you just kind of wandered on. You can get charged with a misdemeanor trespassing. It could be a small fine or just a, hey, fuck off, don't come here anymore, blah, blah, blah. Then there's criminal trespassing. And apparently that's a felony. And it can be charged as like I think it was like a Class B felony or something like that. I don't speak legalese, but it's worse than a regular felony. It's like the next level of felony, and it can be like 180 days in jail plus like a $5,000 to like $50,000 fine, and it goes on your permanent record forever. It's a huge deal, and apparently it happens a bunch. And what that's defined as is if you are on property that is not yours, where it is clearly marked no trespassing.
So everywhere we've been.
Yeah. And graveyards. Graveyards are included in this. It doesn't even have to be posted. If it's just common sense knowledge that this is a private property, it counts. And if the cop really feels like hassling you, he can take you in. If the judge really just doesn't like you, he can strap you with a felony charge for the rest of your freaking life. And you have to go fight it in jury, and you can get sued for it too. And then it's kind of up to them if they decide to put breaking and entering on it as well, depending on what you did.
Emilio says a real danger is loss of friendships when you leave your buddy by locking the car doors in a panic getaway.
I don't know. I don't know anybody that would do that. What kind of monster is in your group, Emilio? I don't know a single ghost hunter that would, when you're out there testing equipment and you're doing your best to just be supportive of your friend's hobby and you're out there protecting him. I don't know anybody that would just swat all the equipment out of your hand and run back to the car just screaming. And then as you're like fumbling around in the darkness, you hear the doors close and you try to get back in your car, and then the doors are just locked and the person's just like screaming at you from the other side of the window. I don't know who would do that. Who would?
Kirsty says, looking back, I was seriously lucky to not get in trouble.
Deflection.
I did explain we weren't doing anything malicious, and they were fine with it and left. However, I probably wouldn't do it now. Do it after hours anymore. Yeah, we've been lucky.
No, I have no idea who would do that. It was not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault, Will.
It was totally not your fault. But I like to blame you anyway.
I wish the goat man had eaten you.
Totes ghost.
Okay, so we've been through people shooting you. We've been through stumbling across people, wild animals,
The importance of naps.
environmental hazards.
And if you think it doesn't happen to you, I downloaded I've got some really good stories here. So April 14th, 2017, Pennsylvania police handcuffed ghost hunters who were giving a tour of an allegedly haunted Civil War era building because they believed they were burglars. The group, including a tour guide and the two tourists that were with them, had permission and were wandering the building where the first Union general killed in the Battle of Gettysburg was brought to. Police eventually, after handcuffing him and taking them to jail, confirmed with the owner that they were allowed to be there, were being paid to be there, and so they were released, for obvious reasons. Could you imagine that? Having, you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and you get fucking arrested anyway? They're like, you're trespassing. It's like, I'm giving a tour, man. Could you imagine the people you're giving the tour to? They're just like, what's going on?
Those aren't going to be good Yelp reviews.
Or they'll be the best Yelp reviews.
2 stars.
No, they're just going to be like, did we just pay a couple of crackheads to wander us around this building? Like they have no idea what's going on. Let's see what's happening here in the comments there.
Nothing so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking back, I was seriously lucky not to get in trouble. I
already
did
read
explain you weren't doing anything malicious. They were fine with it. What?
I already read that one.
Screw you. I haven't been listening to you this entire time.
Obviously.
See, this is why we dunk on you.
Yeah.
Really?
If you weren't a raging dick.
Can you dunk? You're like 5'2".
You're like 5'6".
Can you dunk?
Yes.
No, he can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
At the donut shop.
Do it right now.
May 21st, 2015, Minneapolis. 4 people self-described as ghost hunters. That's really important. That's really important, and I'm glad they included that in this article. That makes me happy. This was from USA Today. Self-described ghost hunters face felony charges for allegedly breaking into a historic 19th century in Minnesota, according to CBS Litchfield, Minnesota. In the wee hours of Sunday morning, saw a vehicle leaving the area and reportedly stopped the car to arrest the driver and passengers, identified as 23-year-old car. It doesn't matter who these people are. It doesn't matter what your name is. 3 others from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 23-year-old, 25-year-old. Okay, so all these people were under 30. They were 20-somethings. They were accused of burglary and criminal damage to the property. According to CBS Minnesota, the church that they had been in was the target of ghost hunters for years, some whom have posted YouTube videos of what they say are confirmed sightings. The church says this place is not haunted. Please stop coming here. Blah. And there's more stuff about how it was made in 1862 and why ghost hunters keep going there. Okay, so that's the fun thing. If you're breaking into places and then you're making videos about your ghost things, you might not
You
hold
just
up
put your own evidence on YouTube.
Yeah, so you might not have caught any paranormal evidence, but you definitely supplied the prosecution with all the evidence they need. You know, and of course you consented to record, so you can't be like, oh, that's inadmissible.
Yeah, I mean, that could arguably use against us.
Well, I mean, if you think of it from an investigation standpoint too, like if you're illegally trespassing into places, like I get it's a passion to want to get the evidence, you know, to go ghost hunting. It's cool. I like it. We used to do stuff like that. It's bad, but how tragic would it be if you got real badass evidence, but you
And then it was used in your court case.
it was used in your court case, but really you can't levy it as good evidence because you were there trespassing like you were doing.
And no one's going to trust you.
No one's going to trust you. It's going to hurt your credibility more than it helps it. Since you were there sneaking around anyway, you probably didn't do any kind of due diligence in figuring out what it was. You know, you caught the voice or you got the apparition or whatever, but you didn't spend the time to really invest into doing a real investigation. You were basically out thrill seeking at the time. And if it's really good evidence and you show it to this big panel of people, eventually somebody's going to figure out, hey, that asshole was trespassing on my property and is going to press charges against you for it. So even if you don't get caught, and you get the evidence out there, like, and all of a sudden you're just awesome for finding this thing, you're still going to end up in a lot of trouble at some point in time because you're going to have to say, like, where you got it to prove it valid. And somebody's going to own that area, and they're going to be pissed because they didn't give you permission to film on their property. And you're not paying them royalties, basically. Like, you're making things worse when you don't go through the proper channels. But yeah, that would be totally awesome. Like, well, right after this apparition makes Billy crap his pants, you'll notice he's right in front of the no trespassing sign.
He like crapped on the no trespassing sign.
I didn't know it was there. You crapped on it, Billy.
Can you imagine trying to get the shadow figure at the end of the hall to give witness testimony?
I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Were you haunting 1136 Cadbury Street at the time that Mr. Timmy Winters broke into your domicile? I was rattling chains at the end of the hall, and he just came in. It scared the hell out of me. I felt attacked.
I kind of want there to be like a show, but from the perspective of the afterlife, like hanging out in like haunted places
where people just
ghost
bust in your
hunters keep
house.
showing up.
Ghost hunters keep showing up, and they're like, God, these guys again. What the fuck? Like,
it's even worse than that. Think like, you know, you're just sitting there haunting a place, you know, you're like,
You're minding your business.
You're
You've been doing this for 200 years.
Yeah, like you're watching reruns of the Brady Bunch on the haunted TV set. And
Suddenly Zach Bagans kicks off the door, rips off his shirt, and tries to punch you in the face.
Answer my questions. Are you even here? What are you talking about? Yeah, get the fuck
dude,
out.
I'm just hanging out in my house.
I'm naked, man.
Like, oh my God. He just walked in here like he doesn't even see us. This is bullshit. Because somebody called my realtor.
Amelia says it's called The Others. That was a good movie. I like that movie.
The Others.
What?
The Others. Y'all never seen that movie where it's like the lady and her kids are in the house and...
Oh, it's Nicole Kidman. The one with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
In the punchlines, they were dead the whole time.
Spoilers. It's like a 13-year-old movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's 13 years old. I mean, it's
December 2013. Rhode Island is not liable to a teenage ghost hunter who was splashed with sulfuric acid while searching an abandoned building. This is a good one. I'm going to read it in its entirety because it's fucking stupid. Rhode Island is not liable to teenage ghost hunter who was splashed with sulfuric acid while searching an abandoned building. The state Supreme Court ruled. Stephen Burton was 17 years old when he and 4 friends searched the Ladd Center in Exeter, Rhode Island for ghosts on November 27th, 2005. The building has been abandoned since 1994 and had begun to gain a reputation in certain quarters as a home for ghosts and things that go bump in the night. According to the ruling, no fence surrounds the property, but there are several no trespassing signs posted, and the building is secured with boards, chains, and metal grates. Burton had visited the former hospital twice before. Despite these obstacles, the boys climbed up a pipe and entered the building through a third-story window. Once inside, they found a 4-gallon-sized glass bottles containing a clear substance. As they left the reportedly haunted house with 3 of the bottles, one broke and splashed sulfuric acid onto Burton, burning him severely. Burton, admitting that he was a trespasser, sued the state of Rhode Island under the doctrine of attractive nuisance. The Superior Court dismissed the lawsuit, but Rhode Island Supreme Court affirmed on December 20th it strains credulity to think that plaintiff, a 17-year-old who was about to complete his GED, did not realize the risk involved in climbing a pipe to the upper story window and entering a dark, abandoned building. I love that statement by the court. Like, he climbed a pipe to go. He didn't think something bad was gonna fuck you. You're not suing the state.
I mean, it's like, well, I mean, it's like, have you ever met a 17-year-old?
Yeah.
Further, man, they went out of their way to call this guy an idiot. Further, the discovery of the bottles triggered enough caution within the group for LV to pour some of the liquid out for further examination. As plaintiff himself testified, when he saw the liquid in the bottle, he believed it contains a hazardous material. The 13-page opinion opens with Percy Shelley's Hymn to Intellectual Beauty, which says, "While yet a boy, I sought for ghosts and sped through in many listening chamber, cave and ruin and starlight wood, with fearful steps pursuing hopes of high talks with the departed dead." Like, somehow that helped this. Shut up. You're an idiot. Can you imagine the balls? To like, oh, my friend got his arm ripped off in the fucking elevator shaft. We're suing you. You weren't supposed to be there. There was a sign out front. It was an attractive nuisance.
That's the part I think I was laughing at. I don't know. I think it's just attractive nuisance. It
sounds like someone I would date.
Yeah.
Christy says I would love to be called an attractive nuisance.
Aw. I don't know. She's an attractive nuisance. So.
She is very pretty.
Okay. Then you're an attractive nuisance.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Radio guy said I'm an attractive nuisance. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. Okay, so we covered like a lot of the physical stuff, which it started with, what are the spiritual sort of dangers, which is kind of hard for us to comment on because we've kind of lost track of that like over the years. Like I said, it's still in the back of my head. I worry about maybe something follows us, because the one time we actually find something that's really scary and like really real or whatever, it's gonna follow me home and like murder my family. And it's easy to kind of to laugh at when you don't believe in stuff like that. But the thing is whether or not it's real, whether or not there is like a spiritual force out there where it can follow you or possess you or do stuff like that, people still believe in it enough that crazy shit happens all the time. One of the reports I pulled up was this one that happened at the Villisca murder house. Y'all have heard of that place, right? It like that's one of the another freaking axe killing in the I got rid of that part of the thing where it explained what the Villisca axe
It doesn't matter.
Like 7 people were killed in a house
with an axe.
With an axe. Go figure. So on November 7th, a visitor to the world-renowned Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa, was rushed to a nearby hospital after being found with self-inflicted stab wounds to his chest. The house is a familiar sight of paranormal investigators who have proclaimed it to be one of the most haunted places in America following the 1912 murders of 6 children and 2 adults whose skulls were crushed while they slept in their beds. The crime was never solved, and visitors to the house regularly report emotional, physical, and supernatural disturbances while they're overnight visits.
They think whoever did it was living in their attic.
Oh,
before
attic
they did
hobo.
it. Yeah,
Oh, that's
was living in their attic for a while because, like, before everyone was murdered, there were complaints from the children that they can hear something up in their attic space.
I'm gonna have to look up more stuff on that. It might fit into what we were looking at today.
They were talking about it on so like there's kind of like a short series on Amazon called Unsolved. It's like these 2 guys, they originally were on BuzzFeed and they started their own thing.
I'm familiar with the show.
Yeah, I like Unsolved.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, but
It's better than our show, unfortunately.
well, I mean, they have money and production and, you know.
Which is funny because I think they produced the
They
whole
get-
thing with a couple of GoPros. Is they have all this money and stuff for production, and really they have like a worse setup than we do. They're just better at it.
But that's what the going idea is. They don't, I mean, no one knows for sure because they don't know who did it. No one ever.
Well, I mean, really, this is for our, one of our true crime episodes. But I love the Austin axe killings, which end up in Gainesville, which is one of the things that I uncovered with the house.
Yeah.
And that's what we were going and checking out today, because I actually tracked down where the murders happened pretty close. It's like shockingly close to Hill House. Because on the map, you're like, oh, yeah, I think I could run that. You know, it looks kind of far or whatever.
That's like 4 blocks away.
Yeah, it's like a 2-minute walk.
Sam says we do have a spiritual following. It's buzzards. I don't know what that means, but think about it. Buzzards in the attic of that one video, and then a building 9.
That's true. We do always find buzzards.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. They're
mean-
just constantly yeah. Well, they're waiting for us to die because they know it's going to happen.
But anyway, okay, so there was a murder house, and someone went to ghost hunt this murder house.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then tried to kill him. Y'all got completely just.
Sorry, yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
derailed.
Murder
but,
house.
The dude was doing an investigation there, and he was the only one there. And apparently at the time of night that the original killings were thought to happen, I guess, or whatever, he stabbed himself in the chest with a 12-inch knife.
That feels like a dumb thing to do.
It does. And obviously no sane person would just up and do that. But you know,
Did
they
he claim possession?
yeah, he lived. He didn't claim he was possessed, but he felt he was driven to it. And he had no history of mental health issues before that. After that, he saw a psychiatrist and everything. And other than the incident just being that night, just being totally weird, he wasn't schizophrenic or anything. There was really no other symptoms other than just, I was in the house. The house was really scary. Things in the house told me to do this. I felt like I had no control over myself, and I did it. Other than that, the dude was really even keeled, which is, it's really nuts. And not to say that I don't know, you're more of a medical. Both of you guys are actually. You know more about medicine and mental health and stuff like that. Can you just have a burst of psychosis?
How old was he?
I mean, you could definitely have a mental break.
Yeah, he was
No matter how-
35.
No matter how healthy.
There's lots of severe mental health disorders that don't start presenting until later in life.
Mm-hmm. I mean.
Yeah, he was 37 years old.
Usually they present it by then. I don't know, but you can have it. Yeah, like she said, you can have a break at any point.
Yeah, just stress is a hell of a drug.
Robert Stephen Larson was 37 of Wisconsin. He arrived with a group of friends at a recreational paranormal investigation. From my understanding, he was alone in the northwest bedroom, and the rest of the party was outside, and he called for help on the mobile 2-way radios.
Julie wants to know if it says where he got the knife.
His companions found him stabbed in the chest, an apparently self-inflicted wound, and called 911. And Larson was brought to a nearby hospital before being helicoptered to the medical center in Omaha.
So was he carrying the knife with him?
I think he found it there. I had more of the article in.
The ghost set him up.
Or his friend tried to murder him and it wasn't me. I don't know what happened.
It was a ghost.
Well, I mean, there would be blood on.
I keep looking up and seeing this old dude looking at the vegetables, and he's just staring at me, and it's wigging me out.
I just want to know who keeps potatoes in the fridge.
Brad's watching ads instead of doing the podcast, so
that old man was staring at me, and I didn't like it. You're one of the reasons that I started ghost hunting with you guys is because you guys told me this really crazy story about Antioch, the first place we went.
Oh yes, the possession story.
Yeah,
and that person felt like there was something very, very real. Man, can you check your boob? Just wrangle that thing. It's just
they just look
all over the mic.
I'm 34. They go where they want. I just think they go where they please.
Allie and her wandering tit is the most dangerous thing to paranormal investigation.
Look, I don't even talk to it anymore. It goes where it goes.
Oh my god!
It just goes. I mean, it just
I don't mean to be crass, but God, how big is that thing? It's just it needs its own microphone for our show.
It might. Bitch got things to say.
It's apparently got an opinion on the danger.
His opinion is
my boob is trying to break into ASMR.
Man, you would get a lot of fucking traffic on your ASMR channel.
Do you think that would...
If it was just
rubbing your boobs on the mic?
Do you think that's something for OnlyFans?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, shit.
I've got 2 mics and we can leave the room. Money. Shit. If anybody wants to hear my boobs rub on a mic and I can leave my job, that's a thing that's happening. I will retire.
Christy says, leave the titties out of this. She said...
No, but...
she says she needs to hear about the possession nonsense. Oh, that is a wild story.
Possession nonsense.
But it was crazy.
There were a lot of people, and the thing is there were a lot of witnesses with that. From the way...
5.
Yeah, there was.
That's a lot. When you're talking about a fucking possession, that's a lot of people.
Christy, I'll have to...
there's
talk
a
to you
long
about
story.
that.
The short story is they're at a
story.
cemetery. They're doing the thing where you hassle the ghost, and shit gets wild. They go home, and person starts acting nutty, and for some reason they call Allie. I don't know.
Who else would you call? Allie and her boob to help the situation.
She ended up fine, didn't she?
She did.
She did. You called me and my boobs.
Fucking fixed it. It's fucking fixed.
And that's what also led to the haunted apartment. That's where the story gets super
weird. That's where things got really weird for a while at the apartment.
That's why I don't completely discount. It's especially as somebody that wasn't there. It's easy for me to just kind of.
Did this involve drugs? Absolutely not.
No. It's easy for me to just say your friend's an idiot, but I know you two, and
there was some weirdness.
I know you two, and there was some weirdness, and there was definitely some craziness that followed that.
I'm still going with attic hobo.
I'd believe it.
But whether or not it's actually spirits that follow you home, or
if you believe in it, it poses a danger.
I think if you believe in anything, if you believe you're sick hard enough, you'll get sick sometimes.
So if you fully believe that ghosts are a thing, and you fully believe they can attach to you, then it could be dangerous, at the very least, to your mental health.
If you're the worst ghost hunter method actor ever, bad stuff could happen. Basically, if you just commit yourself to the role of bad things, I think it can be I think it can be dangerous. I think if you're not, I think where I was going with it is, if you're thinking about ghost hunting, but you're worried about the spiritual side of it being dangerous, the answer to that question in my head is it is. If you're that worried about it, if it's a worry in your head, then it's gonna be a problem for you. It's not something you should probably get into. Like if you're really deeply religious and you think that going ghost hunting could endanger your chances of getting into heaven, or it can endanger your soul, or that you could actually run into demons and things like that, then I don't think you should ghost hunt. To be honest, and it has nothing to do with my belief in angels, demons, or ghosts or anything like that. It has to do with your belief in angels, ghosts, and demons, things like that. I had and kind of still have a belief in those things, but my mind kind of changed about how they're dangerous and how I allow them to be dangerous, sort of thing. If you feel like that's something like, oh, that can't harm me because I have, Bahamut in my life, or Jesus. I want to throw anything but Jesus out there because I hate just defaulting to Christianity. But
if you think that Jesus is going to protect you, he probably will.
Yeah.
Baphomet.
I like Bahamut. Because he lives in Bahama.
No. No, Brad, no.
I don't. What other things can you guys think of? We've done some stupid.
Well, we were talking about.
We've done some stupid shit.
Dangers like not just like the environment having like holes in the floor, but like mold.
Mold, yeah.
Yeah.
Bed bugs.
Mold is a big. Okay, so we used to
Spiders.
I totally used to make fun of the trend where ghost hunters are wearing the masks now. And then we went and did Yoakum, and that place was super
we
moldy.
had to. Yeah,
but Haiti, her lung is like collapsed now. They had to like do surgery or something on it.
Are you revealing someone else's medical information on our ghost hunting show?
She gave me permission.
Okay.
I asked.
Jeez.
Okay, as long as you ask, like
I asked. I had mentioned her in the article, but not by name or anything. And she read the article, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I use your name and your info?" And she said it was cool.
Okay.
So
just wanted to make sure.
Boom.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, she had a. She got black mold and had respiratory problems for a long time, and just recently, like her whole freaking lung like ended up collapsing. I think she
that had to
almost
been scary.
She almost like died, or I think she did die. Like, or I don't know. They're about to do. I don't know if it's related to the thing that I'm talking about, but they're about to do a show about NDEs based on what just happened to her. So. I don't know the whole story. I'm kind of waiting for the podcast to come out, but yeah.
Asbestos is a problem with older houses and buildings.
Yeah, definitely.
I always forget which one is asbestos. That's the stuff that they
the
use
one
to
that
make.
causes
for insulation.
Mesothelioma.
Have you or a family member
been diagnosed
with mesothelioma?
Do you have ankylosing spondylitis? I love those commercials. They're the best. Like, have you taken Zantac in the past 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has your butthole felt itchy?
Oh my God.
Man, I think I got the thing.
I have a fit every time they do the mesh implants for like surgical mesh.
Yeah.
Because I have like 2 meshes. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, my mom had one too.
What was the one that would come on late at night and they would just say it like 3 times? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mesothelioma?
Maybe mesothelioma.
Yeah, Julie says it was a fire retardant.
That's kind of not supposed to use that word anymore.
No, you can use retardant in that.
Okay,
I'm getting really offended by this show. I apologize
Brad,
to
shut
everybody.
the fuck up and move on.
God,
I will kill you. If you
chemical things.
If you're anywhere near where there's ticks, Lyme disease.
Yeah, I mean, and Lord knows we go to plenty of places where we can get ticks.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe we should just
what you should know is any location you're going to find ghosts is also trying to kill you.
They're trying to make you a ghost.
They're trying to flatline your ass.
Join us.
That sounded creepy, and I don't like it. I have to sleep tonight, and that's.
It was head on, apply directly to the
forehead. Yes, I was thinking
apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
Great, now that's stuck in my head. God damn it,
Yes.
Emilio.
That is
Jesus
awesome.
Christ.
Head on worked too. They stopped selling it, and it made me mad. But then I realized it was the same.
There's probably
thing
going to be a commercial.
menthol.
There's probably going to be like a commercial later down the line. Have you used head-on in the past?
Have you noticed spiders erupting from your face?
Yes. What?
Class action lawsuit.
Check your boobie. Oh my God, I can't.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm trying to.
I can't hear myself think.
I'm laughing.
Respiratory things. Just push the mic out an inch. Oh my God.
But then you get mad because I sound too far away.
Is that not making your nipple raw? I mean,
Oh my god.
No, because it's like down there.
I didn't need to know that. That's, oh my God. It's horrible. I'm sorry.
I quit.
No, you don't.
One of the most dangerous things about ghost hunting is
Oh yeah, Brad is totally fixated on your boobies. That's the problem. Oh, Emilio says derailed. He's our derailed monitor
it's
tonight.
just it's in my right fucking headphone. Just and I'm just like, what is happening? Is there a fucking train going?
No, it's just because I'm laughing.
At first, I
you
thought
should just be happy that anyone finds you funny.
That's a Ginsburg.
what's funny is I wasn't paying attention, and I was like, why am I picking up traffic in the back? Like, what is going on? And I just had, and I was like, oh, it's Allie's tit. How do I even address this problem right now?
You yell about it loudly, apparently.
I'm not really that loud. It's just,
Derailed.
so
You deal with it head on.
Bed bugs.
Bed bugs, gross.
Face spiders.
Oh, face spiders. Snakes.
How was that from Night Vale? Throat spiders.
Oh, God,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's what made me think
Ugh.
So if you start
Anus
hunting,
fleas.
what the fuck? You're just combining a body part word with with a insect. That's all you're doing.
You're on to me.
It's freaking like
Apply directly to the microphone.
that is good. I like that.
Derailed.
So one of the biggest dangers of being in doing paranormal investigations is actually going to be the hits to your reputation you're going to take. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing investigations like the bad way, and you get caught, your reputation as an investigator is going to take a big hit.
I was more thinking about when I'm doing physical therapy and the person's like, "What's your favorite hobby?" And I'm like, "Oh, ghost hunting."
That was the other thing I was
Hits to
going to
your
say.
reputation.
So I used to have a lot of friends.
I'm a ghost hunter.
I can see this from their perspective of where just one day all of a sudden I'm hunting ghosts, and like, we didn't know you even believed in ghosts, man. Yeah, and I hunt them with this stuff, and I go out with these people in the middle of the night, and I do stuff, and they're like, there's a lot of people that don't talk to me anymore because they're just
You didn't need them.
Man, I was on like one of my Facebook groups or whatever, and there's like a bunch of people like from my high school on there or whatever. And I don't really talk to them much, but they're like in my feed, and I saw somebody was talking about something. They're like, "Yeah, what happened to Brad?" And one of my like old friends I hadn't talked to in a while, like, "Yeah, didn't he become like the whistleblower for ghosts or something?" And I was like, actually, I debunk a lot of that stuff. And they're like, "Oh, there he is." They're like, "Please tell us more." And I'm like, I'm not doing this. Then fuck y'all, man.
I don't know. I still have a lot of friends.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying I don't have a
They
lot
like-
of friends. I'm just saying my friend group went from this group to this group. And like, it really quickly, people disassociated themselves. They're like, yeah, we didn't think he was that cool to begin with, but now he's a real fucking weirdo. Like, it can cause some problems in certain circles. Like, I don't talk about this during my day job. Only like 2 people know I do this at my day job, and we don't talk about it.
Well, Christy used to work. Like, I used to work with, like, Christy. I told her about it. I'm like, hey.
How'd
But
that work out?
She's watching.
Yeah, but you don't work there
worked out.
anymore.
Oh, yeah, I don't work there anymore. No, but that was because of COVID.
No, they fired you because you're a ghost hunter. You're a ghost whistleblower.
No, she was like the
I'm
only
going to
person.
change the name of our group.
The whistleblowers?
Yes. I was trying to figure out what he meant like that. Like, does it mean I whistleblow on bad groups, or that ghosts are all doing bad things and I blow the whistle on them. I don't know. I thought it was the best phrasing ever. Didn't he become the whistleblower for ghosts? I think he was confusing me with Bob Lazar, to be honest, but yeah. So reputation is there's a lot of dangers to ghost hunting. So when
I mean my reputation's still great. I don't know about you.
Well, I associate with you two, so my reputation went from here to here.
Oh,
I imagine
sweetie.
yours went from here to here by
him have
associating with me.
No, I'm not just gonna let him have it. No, I'm not gonna let him have it. Never.
Anyway, yeah, there are like real dangers to ghost hunting, and then there's pretend dangers.
Oh yeah, the pretend dangers.
What are the pretend dangers?
You know, ghosts.
You know, paranormal things. Because really we just go there and we're hanging out and we're like, yep, nothing paranormal happened, and then we can leave.
Again, nothing paranormal happened.
I would say the scary, like at least in my own opinion, the scariest thing is just like what we talked about before with other people.
Yeah,
I'm more scared of other people than I am of anything else.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I think if you have any kind of mental health issues, I think it can be dangerous to that too. Because you know, before I was medicated, it would really mess with my. I don't know if it was what we were doing or more hand in hand with the like lack of sleep sort of thing. One or the other, it doesn't really matter. But it would really mess with my moods a lot. You know, because I would go there, there'd be a lot of anxiety from the ghost hunt in general. Equipment going down, because I'd feel like everybody's like depending on me to get this all set up so everybody can do their thing tonight, you know, because that's our activity. I'd be like wound up because, you know, there'd be X amount of money like tied up in the endeavor, things like that. And then we'd do the whole thing, and then I'd have depression after sometimes for, you know, a little while or whatever. And it was, you know, it's kind of a roller coaster thing. So I think if you have mental health issues, it can exacerbate that, and that might not be a good fit for, or it might be therapeutic too. Like, I'm not saying if you have like depression or anxiety that you shouldn't do it, but you should definitely monitor what you're doing, because it can make it worse. But it could be therapeutic too. It could be better. And I think if you have like schizophrenia or anything like that, you're probably not a good gauge of.
I mean, unless it's under control.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. But if you're prone to
hallucinations.
Yeah. If you're prone to seeing things that you know aren't there,
or hearing voices.
Yeah, then that might not be I don't know. I would think a psychiatrist would say that's maybe not a good
evidence.
thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not doctors, so
I don't know. It'd be my guess that it might not be the best thing for you, because you might be prone to pay more attention to those things that normally you would be able to ignore normally. I don't know. I could see this profession exacerbating or being therapeutic to it, and so you should definitely self-monitor and make sure you're doing everything that you should. But I definitely feel like there are a lot of dangers to the field that just don't really get talked about a whole lot, because like we go to the cons and, you know, they talk about the dangers of it, but they're always like, oh, you need to do a protective circle and imagine white light and do this kind of prayer, or you know, have these kind of contacts or have this kind of sage.
Yeah, all their hippy dippy stuff.
But I never hear them talk about, hey, make sure you get permission to go there. Make
Don't
sure
fall through the floor.
Or, I mean, I guess like I would consider like another danger would be predatory groups, like falling in line with a predatory group, like at cons, or like falling prey to a con artist.
That is true. And you know what? I actually kind of flushed this out of my head totally. But that actually kind of happened to us for a little while with that one chick that we let into the group as like our social media sort of manager or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it turned out she had this whole like side gig going on where she was selling haunted items that we had investigated. I'm doing air quotes for those.
Yeah, we had not looked at any of these items.
Yeah. This had nothing to do with us, but she had these like NTPI letters of authentication that she was sending with her like haunted dolls and stuff. And I mean, I don't care if you want to sell haunted items on eBay or whatever, but she was saying that we were actually like doing tests and research on these items, you know, and it was actually fraud, but did it? Yeah, it just blinked for a minute. We're wrapping up anyway. We're getting close, but yeah, she had this whole side gig going on that I ended up finding out about because she had to out herself because she had pissed off some customer, and she knew the customer was gonna like
contact us,
or she thought the customer was gonna contact us because they were trying to get more information about what we did to confirm this thing was haunted. Because I guess this lady had bought it and it obviously wasn't haunted. It didn't do anything. And she's like, hey, if this person calls you guys, she's totally just a whack job. And I was like, this is suspicious. That's a real random thing to get. But there are people like that out there. Like, they'll start a paranormal group just so that they can sell items and say, oh yeah, these are haunted. Or you'll end up with like like with us it's different. Like, we all know each other. Like, we knew each other before we were doing this sort of thing. Like,
but if you're like meeting new people and
but yeah, there's a lot of people that do groups where like they'll take an application from someone online, and they'll meet it like they've never met before. They just start doing paranormal investigations, and then, you know, so and so will come up with this evidence while you come up with this evidence or whatever, and you may not even realize that somebody in your own group might be faking that evidence because you don't really know them. And it sucks because it's going to tank your reputation along with theirs, and you had no idea what was going on. Like, that's what I was really worried about with the doll thing. It wasn't that I really care that somebody was selling dolls and saying they were haunted, like, whatever. But
don't attach our name to it.
Yeah, because we, at the time, I mean, we still are, but I mean, we were really trying to do like credible research. And if it came out like there was some like bullshit on the side going on, like, it wouldn't matter. It won't matter what we find. Like, that will always get dug up. That guy from Paranormal State, he got arrested because he was a freaking meth head or whatever. You think anybody believes anything he ever did on that show? I mean, he could have maybe been legit. I don't think he was because he was a meth head, but. But I mean, it's just one little thing can just completely tear you down, and then like, where are you from there? Like, you can't rebound in the paranormal investigation field. Like, your credibility is the only thing that has any kind of value to what you do. Like, you can make mistakes, and you can make wrong calls. You can have all these different beliefs. You can do extra whatever, but if your credibility gets damaged because somebody just even one time proves that you lied or that you were a fraud or you faked something, then you're out of it from then on. I mean, there's a lot of investigators and stuff that are just completely out of the game, and they may have actually started out with some legit stuff, but they were just chasing after those hits, wanting more and more stuff. So they're like, I'll just fake the one EVP, or I'll just fake the one exorcism, or whatever they did, you know. And it's just their whole body of work is just completely screwed. So that's why we have like 999 investigations where we didn't find anything, because I'm not willing to do that.
Just dick and fart jokes all night.
Yeah, pretty much. We find other ways to try to be entertaining because we can't find any ghosts to be entertaining. Or we'll find them and then we disprove them like 2 weeks later because we're diligent. It's really sad. Maybe we should just start faking our stuff.
Nah.
Or just find something else that we can do with our equipment. Oh, I know the other thing I was thinking. I was trying to remember. You were talking about environmental stuff. You know, ticks and all that. But even the stuff that you're looking for can be damaging to you. High EMF fields,
yeah,
for long periods of time. High levels of infrasound for long periods of time. The things that are known to cause the paranormal activity, however you want to classify it, you know, whether it's actually paranormal or not, have negative effects on your health. And if you're going to you're like, oh yeah, we're going to this place because it's always got high EMFs because of the spirit activity. Maybe places with high spirit activity aren't good for your health.
Christy wants us to do a blooper reel with all the dick and fart jokes.
I can't wait to do a blooper reel with your all your dad's footage. I'm Donald Cook, and this is my tape recorder. Man, my favorite thing in there is the double take he does. He's talking about something. He's like, rah, 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 and he looks like, you see him like look off into the corner, and he looks back because something startled the shit out of him, but he doesn't say what it is.
Derailed.
I don't know.
We need to make like that button, like it's just like derailed, and like
yeah, like a 1988 DJ.
Yes, absolutely.
I just need like the and like the fucking soundboard.
Oh, another environmental danger would be temperatures, heat and cold.
Yeah.
Because I know
Mostly heat here.
Mostly heat here, yes. I mean, because I know
is there anybody in our group hasn't had a heat stroke yet?
I think Kristen's the only one that's had a formal heat stroke.
Yeah, Kristen had a formal heat stroke. I even thought I came close once when we were in the prison or the jail.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like I think that's the one time I ever got way too hot.
Yeah, I think you went home early too.
I was sick. Yeah.
I think I almost died that first time at Hill House. Man, I'm going through all that footage now, and we're all so fucking cranky, miserable. We're just all night just saying crappy stuff to each other, and then like, I'm sorry. like we're all apologizing all night because we all know we're all being shits. Like, it's not just me for a change.
Yeah.
Like, well, because like the first...
You said I was being super nice.
You are, but you're also being fucking cranky too. But it really sucked because like the first two videos in the thing are mostly just me, and I'm like, oh my God, I was being a real asshole.
It was 112 degrees.
Yeah. And then like the third one popped up, and I realized why. And everybody's just like, even your dad is just like, yeah. It's just, it was a fucking nightmare. But I'm just like, yeah.
The thing I run into the most is the cold. I know I'm the only one in the group.
It's never been dangerous cold. Let's keep that in mind.
It's never been dangerous cold, okay? So, yes, okay, it's in the 40s, and I get a little bit chilly.
It's never been like, oh my God, Allie has frostbite. Let's
Did
take
you
her to the
use
hospital.
your basic bitch voice for that?
I sure did.
I assume if you're like in a state where it gets cold, though, that might be a danger.
Yeah, but I mean, I also know, like, I know I'm the only person in the group that gets cold.
I don't get cold.
No,
just not when it's 60.
You know, one time it did get too cold. That's while we were out in Tyler, and we were out in those woods.
Yeah, because it was,
Yeah, we were out there by those little cabin things.
Yeah, because it was like a freak thing, because it was like April, and it just got really cold.
It's like fucking nuts. Like you could see your breath. I think that was the spirits.
No, I'm pretty sure it was just balls cold.
It's cold enough I didn't have balls. It was not balls cold. It was
Christy says 60 is cold, so she can sit with you.
What is
Yeah,
wrong
Christy can
with
sit
you
with me.
Losers. Oh my God. I would hunt in sub-zero temperature.
Fuck God, better than 112.
Fuck you guys.
I'd rather die of freezing than heat stroke
fucking
any
hate
day.
the heat. I hate the heat so much. I hate Texas. It's just the
The
worst.
state is trash.
It is.
I feel like I have a blanket every time I like go outside. It's like warm.
So, you know, ghost hunting, is it dangerous?
It can be.
Depends. Are you an idiot?
If you're an idiot,
you're
it's
ghost
especially
hunting. Yeah,
Probably. Yeah. Okay.
you're out in the middle of the night with like equipment going, is there anybody here?
Point to you.
Yeah, we're morons. like 100 years worth of ghost hunting, we've proven jack squat. We're all kind of a little bit idiots.
I agree with you, Christy.
What?
She said she'd rather be sweating tits than freezing her ass off.
Nope. I'm good.
Heat makes me vomit. I don't like vomiting.
I just don't want my balls to stick to my leg. It's just the worst. When I'm having to walk and I got to shake a leg.
I mean, I hear things, but I mean, I hear things. I heard it's tough having balls.
But anyway.
So,
derailed.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap up for the night, and we're just gonna leave you with the soothing sounds of Allie's right tit.
I'm not even touching it.
To play us out. Play us out, Allie.